Hi, Kerry here, Nosy Hausfrau. Welcome to my channel. I'm having an impromptu pajama party. I got my pajamas on, and we're going to discuss a rift in the drama community. In case you're not aware, two YouTube besties, Peter Monn and Dustin Dailey, are on the outs. And after days of drama and Twitter warfare, I have come to the conclusion that this sucks. It's not the kind of drama I can enjoy. And we'll go into detail about that. But in the meantime, I'm going to be good. I'm just going to have water. I'm not going to revert to my old ways after I have this ice cream.
Ich lass mich heute Abend blicken. Ich komm gut geschmückt in den Laden geritten. Alle tanzen, die Damen sind echt entzückend. Ganzes Backblech voller Sahne.
Okay, so the ice cream was a joke, but taking the breakup hard is real. First, let me say, in no way am I here to reside as judge and jury over this situation. I'm not here to tear anybody apart, nor do I consider myself qualified to judge anybody. The people who know the most about this situation are the ones directly involved. And of course, there's only so much we can see. But I am going to share my observations on this because I think I have something to add to the discussion. And that's what I would like to see, a discussion more than drama. And if that makes me destined to remain a small channel, I can live with that. So there was apparently problems behind the scenes that none of us knew about. And this friendship was kind of struggling, resentment was building, and where it all came to a head publicly began on Twitter with a tweet from Jacqueline Hill to Here for the Tea. Everything you say is based on nothing but opinion. If you want the real facts, I will be happy to pay for a first-class ticket to Florida, and you can interview me in my home. I have nothing to hide. My DMs are open. She had to throw in first class. Like we don't know, we're already paying too much for pressed mica powder. And how does she know Here for the Tea even has a passport? She's going to get on a plane. She's in a foreign country somewhere, like it's called Canada or something. And she's just going to get on a plane and come to you. And what are you, the queen? You're going to bring somebody, have that insolent girl brought before me. Send our finest Uber and bring her to the nearest airport. All that silliness aside, what happened was after that tweet, Peter Monn liked that tweet. And Dustin and some other people felt that he was inserting himself into that situation. There was belief that he was going on DM and that he was getting an invite to also go to Florida and interview Jacqueline. And being seen as poaching that interview, I guess that was the last straw for Dustin. And he tweeted, "This is shady AF." And Peter tweeted, "I had no intention." And by the way, I don't know that these were in direct response to each other, but these are tweets as I saw them. I wasn't able to find them today, so I'm just going by memory. Peter said, "I have no intention of taking an interview that wasn't even offered to me." Now, for whatever reason, that did not resolve anything. And the next day, after ghosting Peter, Dustin made his video. And in it, he owned his truth. And no one can accuse that kid of not having guts, whether you think he's right or wrong. And please don't think for one moment that if I say something in admiration of one of these parties, that means that I'm against the other ones. Because if there's anything that's been a little bit too prevalent through this whole thing, is people looking to see which side you're on, where you draw your line in the sand so they can decide whether to label you good or bad. I'm sorry I can't give you that because I think there's a lot we all don't know. I also think that I'm just giving you my perspective such as it is. And if I were any one of these people, I might see these people, the other two, completely differently. You know how that is when you're in the thick of it. So from the sidelines, my perspective was that Dustin was very courageous and emotional. And I got the impression this was building for a while. And he just felt that Peter, in my opinion, he felt Peter is someone who pulls the ladder up behind him. But he accepts all this help, and then he just thinks of himself and isn't there for other people when the chips are down for them. But here's what I think maybe not considered. First of all, let me say, my own personal observation, back when Dustin was under attack from Mango, I was like, wow, he's not mad that Peter's not really supporting him? Okay. And then when Petty Paige was accused of a crime, I thought, oh, I'm going to go to Peter's channel and see what he has to say about this. Nothing. I found he had a video that he had made about Jackie Ina in May saying, oh my gosh, he's got so many subscribers and 2 million. I wouldn't mind 2 million of those. So there was nothing defending Petty Paige. And I thought, these people aren't mad at him. Well, if they're not mad, why should I be mad? That just seems to me like I was a little resentful and it didn't even happen to me. Because when he was accused of that unconscionable crime, rightfully so, he had a landslide of support, a landslide. And I would think you'd be so grateful, so profoundly grateful. You would have empathy for someone else being accused of a crime. And you would be vocal. Now, he said in the Younow stream to to Petty, he said, I told you why I couldn't defend you back then. I sent you an email, a DM, and I told you for legal reasons I couldn't. Nobody called him on that. And I'm sorry, what legal reasons? I have an attorney in my family. I don't even have to consult them on this because I understand slander and libel enough to know that nothing should have stopped you from defending your friends. And maybe that's where friends and PR become too muddled on YouTube. So why didn't I say something back then when I was a little peeved? Well, number one, the parties involved didn't seem peeved, but I thought about it for a night and I came to a conclusion that let me cut Peter some slack. And if anything, kind of feel sympathy for him. I think if you look back on when Peter was attacked by John Cookian, he was devastated. No, traumatized. I think he was so traumatized that after that, he felt he wasn't going to have conflict with anyone. And it wasn't out of being selfish so much as self-preservation. And this is something I said in the comments under Dustin's video. And I think that's something to consider, that Peter absolutely made a mistake, in my opinion. Because no matter what everybody says happened behind the scenes, just looking at what we have seen, we can say, based on what we haven't seen, that there's something that you can call him on. And we haven't seen him defend his so-called closest friends. And I feel so much like people really do care about the numbers on YouTube way more than they should. If you have a friend, let me ask you, if you personally had a friend and you were in litigation over a slander or something written, a libel suit, would you let that stop you from defending your friend who's in pain? You can't, I mean, if you have any amount of empathy, you can understand that Petty was in pain and was facing this alone. When she had friends, to help. Now, sure, she had a lot of people supporting her too. But these bigger channels and her so-called friend that she defended without any thought for how it would make her look or for the friends it would make her lose, why didn't he do the same? Why did he pull the ladder up behind him and say, oh, sucks to be you? That's how these people are taking this, that feels that he is more important. But what I think possibly is going on here, I think Peter has more pain than he even lets on to his friends. And I think that pain led him to be to self-preservation. Peter loves his channel maybe more than anybody. He's got another channel coming out. He does books. He's reading. He's writing. And I bought his book, by the way. It's very good. You should get it. Not a shameless plug, but I see so much good in him, and I see what I think brought people to like him is the fact that he tries so hard and everything good that's happened to him on YouTube. He seems so grateful for, and he loves it. He may have gotten to a point where, because that was helping him through his pain, he got a little addicted to it, got a little full of himself, and thought these people didn't need him to defend them, or just thought it would blow over, it would be okay. He made a mistake. And today, in the video he just made today, where he said he has to talk about his feelings, he winds up saying that, maybe I wasn't the best friend, but maybe he wasn't either, and he would just say that we all could be better friends. And this is paraphrasing, but essentially this is what he's saying. And I think if you really miss your friend, and if you really want people to forgive you, there won't be a maybe, an if, and, or but about it. You will recognize that you absolutely could have been a better friend, and you will apologize properly. Whether you say, I'm sorry, which absolutely has meaning, and it, to me, is not as easy to say, and therefore is powerful. If you say what that person needs to hear, that means something too, not what you think is a good apology. But if you say, I'm sorry, I wish I could go back and do that differently. Here's what I did wrong. I should have been there for you. I should have said, lawsuit be damned. My friend is in pain. Somebody is going through what I went through, and I'm not going to let them go through that alone. I should have done that. I should have overcome my fear to be there for my friends and not always think about where my channel is going and, you know, not care about if I'm taking my friends with me or not. See, there's so much to YouTube and a channel growing and success, and it's almost like what goes up has to come down. And somebody who's beloved gets to a certain place on YouTube, and when you start approaching 200,000, people are like, are you really worthy of this? And you're held under a microscope. And you know, and so there could be that scrutiny, I don't know. But from my perspective, these people there has to be something to what they're saying, because what isn't there is very telling. I can't find a video where, you know, he defended it. And then I remember him responding, he was irritated that people were bothering him about making a video defending his friends. He was just like, she knows why I can't do this. And, you know, it was just like he was kind of irritated about that. That's just not good enough. That is not good enough, because who in this life has had the support that Peter had? And he said he just can't take the hate anymore. He can't take the hate. I don't know if it's coming on DMs, but go ahead and search his name on Twitter. Don't click on his profile. Just type in @Peter Monn, and then you'll hit latest to see everything on there. Is there a lot of hate? Is there some? I was looking for something that would hurt me if I read it, and I couldn't find anything. I scrolled down, I scrolled down, I scrolled down. I typed in Petty Paige, and the insult was the first thing I saw. She also had a lot of support. I had to take off my outer pajama because it's warm under these lights. But anyway, I often say it's not what people say to us, it's what we do with what they say to us. And something that really hurt me to the core, I didn't think it was manipulation, was Peter saying, I'm a good person, and in tears. And it sounded like he was trying to convince himself, not us. Just saying, I'm a good person, I'm not a bad person. So in conclusion, I would have a lot more sympathy for Peter if he does the right thing and removes name-calling tweets and shows that he wants to fix things. If you miss your friend Dustin, tell your friend Dustin and give a proper apology, not a maybe I could have been a better friend. Acknowledge what he's upset about and how you could have been a better friend, what you may have done wrong. And please don't insult anyone's intelligence by uploading a video saying you will not defend yourself. Are you telling me you don't know that that video is defending yourself? That could very easily be seen as passive aggressive. I won't defend myself against my ex-friend. You know, you're in tears, you're crying to whom? To throngs of people who adore you. To a pack of wolves, also known as the wolf pack. So you don't think that's tantamount to releasing the hounds when you say, no, don't worry about me. I'm just alone in the world and sat alone as a child, and I'm very upset, and I just feel lonely, and I'm a good person, and don't feel bad for me because I'm not going to defend myself. Come on. How many times have I seen people do this? This is something that irks me. People who say that they're you know, they just act like a martyr. They're not going to defend themselves, and don't send this person hate, and you know, but you cannot expect that that's not going to happen, because you've seen it for yourself that you don't have control over your super fans. Nobody does. So if I didn't want to direct any hate at anyone, I would, anyone coming for me or an ex-friend or anything, I wouldn't make any video at all. That's the only way to ensure that doesn't happen, and I think you know that. So be that person who you want everyone else to see. Take down the nasty grams and stop it. And I think in time, you know, given the right apology, of course your friend will forgive you, because that person's going to miss you too if you talked every day. There's a lot to that friendship. There's time and there's an investment. And if you can be a good friend, I don't think it's too late at all. So if you've watched this far, I so appreciate you. I apologize if this is disjointed in any way. I'm exhausted, I'm old, and I'm out of practice. So I really do appreciate that you sat through the whole thing and let me know what you think. At the end of the day, none of this is all that important, but I wanted to chime in on the goings on and hopefully do it in a fair way. So let me know, was I too hard on Peter? Am I right about my observations? What's your input as you see it in this situation? And hopefully we can all get back to just getting along and having fun, because I sure have other people that I'd rather see on the hot seat than 3 people that I like. So thank you again, everyone. As always, I don't speak for everyone, just everyone who wants to be right. So saith a housefrau.